There seems to be an awful lot of sad stories in the news today, and there are thousands missing. Does anybody care? New Band Channel, where we talk about those faces. Talking news with Debbie. Cassie Barnes has still not been found, and it's been 2 years since her case first hit the spotlight. Reggae, Chattanooga, and Middle Valley both behind bars. Sarah Galloway was found. She wasn't found alive. What happened to Sarah Galloway?
It's too heartbreaking to share.
Children are still missing. Children like Dorsey, you're in shame. You just got away with it. Welcome to Talking News, Hello everyone. My name is Debbie. We use big stories to push little faces.
Chasing a murder.
Hello everyone, welcome to Chasing a Murder Talking News. Before we get started, don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, and also hit the notification bell if you want notifications when we have new uploads, guys. Today is a Talking News episode, and it's a story that I'm wanting to kind of push, make more familiar. It's about this young lady, Crystal McCarthy. She's a beautiful young lady. Crystal McCarthy is 37 years old, and she's living in Napa, California. She is reported missing after last being seen Monday night, says police, and we'll go over that in just a second. She is described as being 5'4", 155 pounds, with orange hair and green eyes. She had actually, just a few years ago, left Houston, Texas, and moved to the Napa, California area. Now, just recently, a few months back, what we're hearing from witnesses is that Crystal had made friends with a homeless woman. According to witnesses, Crystal actually brought them food. And when I say them, it wasn't just one homeless woman that she was helping out. There were others. So I like to get people to know who our missing girls are and what they're like. So let's go over who she is. Like I mentioned, she's from Houston, Texas originally, but she moved to the Napa area around January of 2020, according to her Facebook post. Like a lot of people these days, she is very political, and she likes conspiracy stories. She's a little bit on the liberal side and a little bit anti-police. However, that being said, she is very much in love with the thought of doing good for humanity, for those in need. Crystal is a cat lover and absolutely adores her cat. She's intrigued by space and astrology, and she believes in being kind and helping others. So this is what I'm learning right now, guys, because I learned about this story today. And one of the things I do know about Crystal is she loves her father, and she's a daddy's girl. We know that Crystal McCarthy actually had a boyfriend, or has a boyfriend. And going a little bit forward here to, or backwards for us, December 13th of 2021, which is a Monday, Crystal is living with her roommate. That's what we're getting from news articles right now. And according to that roommate, on this day, later that evening, Crystal orders food. There's different times listed on different articles saying that this was around either 9:30 or 10:30 p.m. that Monday. The roommate also said once that food was received, that she did notice that her roommate never claimed the food she ordered. She thought maybe she was just in a room. She doesn't go into any more detail than that. I can't find anything anyways as to what happened with that food later. Regardless, Crystal orders food, and her roommate says that she never sees her pick it up. Also, during this time, Crystal's boyfriend said he's at work at this time, and that he had last heard from his girlfriend, or last seen and talked to her, sorry guys, was that Monday. And it was at their home at the 500 block of Lincoln Avenue And this information comes from the police sergeant. That Monday night and evening, they had heavy rains. And according to her boyfriend, Crystal was making plans to go out with an umbrella at the very late stages of the storm. In fact, this storm actually dumped about 4 inches over the Napa Valley area that night. The roommate did mention the fact that Crystal's boyfriend did come home late Monday night and confirms that he had spoken with her before 9 p.m. that evening. Again, they mentioned the fact that Crystal was asking about an umbrella. What we learn later on is the fact that she doesn't have a vehicle, so she had gone out by foot, hence her needing the umbrella. But why would Crystal plan to leave on a rainy night after ordering food at least around 9 p.m. late that night? Well, you can guarantee there's a few sleuths out there. They're also asking that same question. This was, not an ordinary rainy night. It was a massive pour down. The Napa River gauge actually, the height went from 3 foot on Sunday, December 12th to 11 foot on the night of Monday, December 13th. So let's talk about, because what we're going to talk about shortly, I really wasn't able to put this in order like I would like, what the temperature of the Napa River would be around this time of year. It would be about 53 degrees at any given time. And police later will suspect that maybe there might have been an accident. Maybe she just didn't want to be around anyone. And if there was an accident and she somehow fell into this water, how long could she survive in water in a frigid 53 degrees? Keep that in mind. So let's forget about the accident. We know that she asked for an umbrella, and this suggests that she was planning on walking in one of the worst storms of this year. And the next question is how far of a walk is this? How long will it take? Well, it obviously, according to witnesses, was not very far from the house. The weather for that day is most likely, the highs are in the average of the 50s, so in between 50 and 40s. We learned that she dressed warm. She wears a hoodie before going out. This is jotted down on a flyer that they pass out later, that she was last seen wearing this blue hoodie and black pants. And to me, it just seems a lot of details that I think people need, including what shoes she was wearing. And we know that she doesn't have a vehicle, so she must be walking. So I keep emphasizing that. If she walked, how exactly far was it from the house? We don't know the exact distance. And you have to wonder, at some point, did she hitch a ride? Did someone follow her? When she arrived to the location she was heading to, that something happened. And we find out later that they find at the bridge near this river some of Crystal's belongings. This includes that umbrella that they were talking about and a pair of her black boots. And you know that police must have more information on Crystal, what she was wearing, what she was doing, but they're not really putting enough information out for a missing persons case, in my opinion. The public can't really help much with that little bit of information that they're putting out on that flyer. And we're learning, the latest news right now is that police do not suspect foul play. And for them to suspect anything, they must have some type of information to lead them to that idea. So I'd like to know what they know. Again, if this is a missing persons case, they need to give us more information. So while the boyfriend says that he was working that Monday evening and that he just had a brief conversation, she was interested in an umbrella. He knew that he was wanting to go out in this horrible weather for some reason. He says when he finally returns home, which is after midnight, which would be early Tuesday morning, he noticed that Crystal is not at home. At this point, he becomes concerned and he contacts the police. According to news articles, And the witness, Crystal's boyfriend, he says that police actually searched the area Tuesday morning and found some of her belongings near the western bank of the Napa River. That's under the Lincoln Avenue Bridge, a short distance from their home. Even more concerning, Crystal McCarthy didn't even show up for work. They don't really give a name of where she works, but they say that she worked at a downtown store in the area. And family and friends get together to try to compare when was the last time someone heard or saw Crystal. The search ends up leading them to the fact that she left her phone behind in her house. So not only is Crystal getting an umbrella, she doesn't have a vehicle, so she has to walk in horrible weather for some reason to help someone she met a few months back, which is a female homeless person. She leaves her phone behind, which tells you that she has no concerns if this is what she really done. It seems that she had ordered food, she left her phone behind, she planned on coming right back. So we're moving days later after she's considered missing, and we find out the operations crews checked the river area on Thursday in the clear weather. And like many of our police departments that a lot of us should be concerned about, is they're reporting that there are budget constraints, meaning that they can't go out and search for your missing loved ones because they don't have the resources to do so, and this has become a major issue. In fact, they couldn't even put out the air operations to look for Crystal until another crew was airborne for another mission. How horrible is that? This area has not put in much effort whatsoever, blaming lack of resources. And here we have this missing young lady who needs attention yesterday. We have a lot of people who have planes or helicopters, drones. They do these things for fun and for hobby. I'm sure they can volunteer and help people if they only knew. The thing is a lot of people, they don't even know about this case. So you can't even get volunteers to help if you wanted to. So really, we need to start developing better community resources for people who might want to volunteer their time or can. So here's what's interesting. So police detectives reported there is no activity on Crystal McCarthy's bank account. And her cell phone was in the house, as we learned. She doesn't show up for work. She doesn't show up at home. And we know that there was a horrible downpour that night. So was there an accident? Well, they say that they are searching up and down the river, but nothing has turned up to show any signs of her other than the umbrella and boots. So here's the problem. Why would her boots? Is it both boots? Why would they be off? And how were they found? Were they found staggered together? We don't know. All we know is detectives, investigators, and searchers have walked up and down the riverbanks looking for her. Meanwhile, her family, her father, and friends are sharing a few posts, but I notice they're not going very far. And the one thing that I always stress to friends and family who are involved or have a missing loved one, it's important for you to be active and push the public to be active. Talk to the media as much as you can. In fact, reach out to YouTube creators who cover stories like this. Everything you can get help with matters. So anyways, this is what they posted yesterday. Thank you everyone for your prayers and comments. My daughter, Crystal Leah McCarthy, is still missing in Napa, California. The detectives and many friends have been endlessly searching the Napa area for her. Her boots and umbrella were found by the Napa River, but no further evidence was found. Please, please continue to pray that our beautiful daughter, Crystal McCarthy, comes home. Then they ask friends or anyone that might have seen her to contact police, family, it doesn't matter, and let them know if you know anything. For right now, this story is only in a few or a handful of articles that I've found. And the numbers of missing, especially women and children and men, guys, they're growing. Every day the numbers are growing, and it's just unfathomable of how many cases we're having to deal with, especially with domestic violence, trafficking, kidnapping, and some even darker acts. So right now, I want to ask you guys, if you are a YouTube channel or media or source or may know of anyone that does this type of thing, reach out to them and see if you can get this story out there. They need more help. The numbers of the missing, I mean, the faces just growing. And you know, just like the pictures that you're seeing here, we have many faces out there that still are many of them going cold, guys. That's plain and simple, cold. There's no new tips coming in for some of these stories, meaning that the case is stalled. They're getting no answers. All right, guys, I love you guys so much. I'm gonna have to call it, and the end right here. Don't forget to share this story. Also, you can like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. And if you like our videos that we upload, you can donate to my Patreon page at Chasing a Murderer. And for those of you who do support this channel and they have helped out by donating to Patreon, I want to say I love you guys, and I truly appreciate everything that you've done. And I wish that I could find more time right now to do all those things that we've been wanting to do, but I just can't at this time. I was glad to be able to get at least this one new story out. All right, guys, love you guys. Be safe, and I'll see you guys soon.